I study at the Aarhus University, where my main subject is religious studies, and then I have a supplementary in social science, so political science. And I have been involved in pushing for sustainability within education. I would say mostly in the context of the Green Youth Movement. We used to be called the Green Student Movement, but we changed our name recently. But yeah, we're not only for students, and we're also not only focusing on education, like we're just focusing very generally on climate, and also do a lot of regular climate activism, so pushing politicians and companies. But we also have this focus on education. And one of the first things I was part of in this context, on this topic, was I've participated in writing like an open letter to all the university boards, or like university management, asking for sustainable education. And at least, I don't know how it went in the other universities, but at least in Aarhus University, from that letter, or because of that letter, they invited us for a meeting to talk about like what we could do in Aarhus University. And I think maybe as a result of that letter, or at least like it was a focus also coming up in those months. I think it was back in 2018 or something. They decided to initiate a work towards making a climate strategy. So they had like this big event where people could brainstorm ideas, and then they started a working group which consisted of 4 faculty members and then 2 student representatives. And I was one of those student representatives. So we had like one from Studenterrådet, the student union, and one from the Green Student Movement. So that was in that work, like I contributed to the creation of the climate strategy. And I really tried to push for including the education part of it within that climate strategy, but the board wanted a more sort of narrow strategy, so more focusing on transportation and energy and all that stuff, like very physical stuff. So yeah, basically mostly like the environmental footprint of the institution, and not so much if you could say the educational footprint. So I kind of then shifted my effort towards a new campaign that we then created, or initiated in the Green Youth Movement, where we wanted to make a big campaign for all education, so the entire sector, where we wanted to push for sustainable education, but that was later included. But yeah, we made this campaign and gathered together all the student organizations and did this like big campaign where we contacted a lot of politicians and tried to get some media attention and stuff like that. And so as a result of that campaign, Education for Future, or Uddannelse for Fremtiden, it was called, we proposed, there was shown some interest, and then some people from that campaign, but also some outsiders who had taken interest in the campaign. So for example, someone working in the education sector, and also they like gathered together to propose this commissorium. Yeah, they proposed this idea for initiating this work on developing a national plan or a national strategy for education for sustainable development. And so they handed that over to the ministry and decided that to grant money for the first phase of that. So the first phase of that plan would be to map what are the initiatives at the current state, and what are some of the barriers to developing more sustainable education and stuff like that. And that's the work we are in right now. So we are almost in the last part of it. So we are finalizing a report that we will hand over to the ministry, and the report consists of the contributions from 8 partnerships. So I'm in the higher education partnership, and then there's also something for mellemlange, semi-higher education and vocational training and primary school, and so all different parts of the education sector.
We have been working on internationalization of education, how to overpass the frontiers, the limits. Today, it was the very day of the Think and Do Tank, where the students, they have revealed all the studies that they have undertaken on sustainable education.
Sustainable education or education for sustainability are complex concepts that Sacred students sought to better understand in their research project through the support of the academic chairs of the Think and Do Tank, a think tank within the Alliance.